Hello, lovely viewers. Welcome to yet another edition of the Pro Sport Analysis Show. Today, we will be talking about the Afcon, what a tournament we have had so far. And as we all know, right now we have the Super Eagles of Nigeria going into the finals with the Elephants of La Côte d'Ivoire. And it promises to be a very thrilling encounter, with Nigeria having won 3 titles already, and then Côte d'Ivoire also having 2. Now, Nigeria is looking at winning the 4th trophy to be on the same level with Ghana, and then Côte d'Ivoire is also looking at coming onto the 3rd level to be equal with Nigeria. So it's actually promises to be a very thrilling encounter. And we also have South Africa facing off DR Congo in the 3rd and 4th place on Saturday. So we will go for a quick break, and then when we come, we will discuss what a tournament we've had so far, the challenges that we've had, and the positive side, and some of the things we can highlight in African football that will also go ahead to promote our the football in Africa. So we'll go for a quick break, and then when we come back, we shall talk about all of these. Welcome back from the break. So before we go into today's analysis, let me quickly introduce my guest. I have here Bruno. He's been on the show several times, and alongside him is Duster, who was also here to review the Arsenal versus Liverpool match. So it's actually been an interesting tournament so far, the Afcon. We've seen a lot in this tournament, and one key area that has been very, very spot on is the VAR. I mean, the VAR referees have had a very positive tournament, with even the Europeans, Gary Neville even commending the African VAR, and then telling the Europeans to learn from us. This is a very positive thing, and I would like to hear your impression about it too. So let me start with Bruno.
All right, so thank you very much for the opportunity once again, and we want to thank our viewers for the support so far. So quickly, I'll dash into the African Cup of Nations. So far, so good. What a tournament we have had. So, as you rightly said, with the VAR, their work so far so good. They have been very impressive and supportive. So we have had a very fair and free tournament. When you look at the game between Senegal and Ivory Coast, at a point when Nicolas Pepe had a crash with the goalkeeper, and the referee ruled it out and even issued a yellow card to Nicolas Pepe. The VAR called the referee to review the incident, which got Ivory Coast the equalizer for that penalty that was given. So indeed, the VAR did a very fair work. They were monitoring the proceedings, everything, and alongside they also made the works of the referees very easy and very fair. So far so good. We applaud the VAR for the work they have done.
Yes, so that is what we expect from a VAR. The referee on the field may not see every incident, and so we expect the VAR to come in as and when it is necessary to review some of these incidents, and then also do the needful so that we don't miss anything, and then we don't be so much unfair to some of the teams. And so far they've done a really impressive work, and we say kudos to them, for the work that they have done so far. There are other sides, other aspect of the game that we need to highlight, and one of them would also be the players featuring in this tournament. A lot of the players are coming in from European countries and playing top level football in the world, and that is one thing that has boosted the performance of the African teams in the Afcon this time around. So what is your general impression compared to previous Afcons? That's that.
All right, thank you very much, and as always, it's a pleasure to be hosted on this program. I would like to encourage our viewers to subscribe to Pro Sports Analysis on YouTube. It's quite entertaining. With the Afcon, this year's Afcon has been tremendous. It's been so enthralling and very entertaining. As at last Wednesday, when we had the matches. I think a total of 106 goals had been scored.
Yeah.
Surpassing 2019's, I think 2019's Afcon and 2021's Afcon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it means that this Afcon has been filled with goals,
Yeah.
amazing goals.
Yeah.
I can quite recall Bebe's Cape Verde,
Sure.
a long
range free kick.
Phenomenal
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
It's exceptional. So we've seen goals, we've seen marvelous goals, we've seen good officiating. You said something about the VAR.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Gary Neville had it spot on when he said that Africans, we've actually made the VAR our own. It's just like we created it.
We created
exactly,
it. Yeah.
And he was giving it props to
our.
Yeah, very interesting. I would like to go back to an incident with regards to the VAR. How when Nigeria had the second goal against South Africa, it was quickly reviewed.
That was very interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a life-changing moment for.
Yeah, I'm just imagining what the fans will be going through at that moment, because going 2-0 up and then all of a sudden VAR calls and then it is 1-1.
1-1 and then
the emotions.
So 1-0. Then not only a foul but a penalty and then a card, and so that was an example of the VAR being used appropriately.
Yeah.
So kudos to the officiating team, kudos to the committee, kudos to everyone involved in this tournament. I think with the players coming all the way from Europe to partake in this tournament, it's been very good.
Yeah.
Because we need that exposure, European exposure.
Yeah.
When you speak to, I think it was Sadiq Adams, Ghanaian journalist, who was explaining some few things with regards to why local players aren't used so much in our national teams. And he said that they aren't using the local players because most times you realize that the technical aspect of football, the local players don't particularly
possess that.
Yes, assimilate such information.
Yeah.
But rather, people playing, Osimhen's playing in Napoli, Sebastian Haller playing in Dortmund.
Yeah.
So they are well vexed in these technicalities. So when the coaches come and then they ask a player to play an inverted role, they actually get the technical aspect of it.
Yeah.
So that's why most of the times the national teams would invite offshore players from abroad into their team to make the football nicer, like how we are having it. But please, this is not to discredit the local teams, because South Africa, who've done so well, possess all players from Mamelodi Sundowns. And look at the football that they are playing. Excellent football. So this is not to totally disregard the local league, but just to bring competition. We have to merge European football with our local league. So I think it's a good addition.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Like he's indicating, there's a lot to learn as African football, and we continue to learn in that regard. One aspect he mentioned is the technicality, which when it comes to the technicality of the players, a lot of the African players would like to play a free role without much of the tactics. And so it talks about discipline. You know, as a player, you have to be disciplined. You have to know how you adapt to the coach's formation and all of that. So I believe we are still in the learning process, and as the years go by, we try to make corrections in certain areas that needs corrections, and then we upgrade to match up with world standard. So that is a good job by far. So I'll move back to Bruno to hear your comments about the stadiums, the pitches, and how far with the fans and everything. Like Côte d'Ivoire hosting the nations, the African nations. Like how has it been?
All right. So thank you once again. So the tournament so far so good, has been very impressive. Ivory Coast has done very well.
Yeah.
We thank Didier Drogba for the organization and everything, and the supporters as well. Almost every match, the supporters are there in their numbers, supporting their team, and it has made the tournament a very, wonderful one, and it will be a memory for most of the fans who travel from far and near to watch this tournament. So we applaud Ivory Coast for a nice job there.
Wow. So so far so good. Ivory Coast has done a wonderful job. All the monies they spent to actually host this will not go in vain. And with the stadiums and all of that, I'm sure those infrastructure will help their national league as well. So we are expecting even better performances as we go ahead. Yes. So quickly, we will want to move to the fixtures, the remaining fixtures. Like we said, so far we've had a very interesting journey by far. The two teams, both Nigeria and Côte d'Ivoire, and we will want to look at their road to the final. But before we do that, let's look at South Africa and DR Congo. They will be playing the third and fourth on Saturday. But let's look at the South African team first. So far, they are the team with the most local players. And it is very interesting that they've been able to make it to the semi-final. Even Nigeria beating them on penalties in the semi-final tells you that they've done a very great work. And so we can believe that, going forward, we can also develop African teams, locally based players who can perform at the top level stage like this. So let me move to Bruno, talk of the DR Congo team. Their journey so far, and then how far they've come in the tournament.
Okay, so thank you very much once again. So this tournament, most of the teams that weren't expecting to reach the far they have gotten to has proved most people wrong. Yeah, that is the DR Congo team, and talk of South Africa. Yeah, South Africa, they drew their first match also. Yeah, yes, but aside that, they were able to put things back to normal and fought to where they have reached. At least they have done very well. And talk of DR Congo as well too. They don't have much of their key players compared to the likes of Imputu that we have some years back. Yeah. But they have been they played as a team and they have reached the far they have gotten to. I'm sure their supporters and their fans will be happy for them. They will not be disappointed. Okay. Because probably they knew that our team shouldn't have reached where they have gotten to, but at least where they have gotten to is a good work. They have shown, much strength, and they have fought a good battle. So the fans will be happy for them. And as they go into the third place, I wish them well. Maybe the good team will take the third place position. Okay, all right. So everyone comes into the tournament with the hopes of winning. Yeah, yet some also come with the hopes of just qualifying from the group stage. Even that one is an achievement for them. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So if you talk of the likes of Cape Verde, this year has been a very great tournament for them, proceeding up to the quarterfinals, and then it's been a very impressive run for them, and I'm sure it's a record run for their history, football history. So talk of the South African team as well. They've also had, starting off not really well, not really convincing performance, but they were able to stand their grounds and, keep their team in shape up to the very point where they were knocked out in the penalty shootout against Nigeria. Prior to that, they also had a penalty shootout with Cape Verde. And they have this wonderful keeper who was able to save 4 penalties in that, setting a world record. Such shows that there's never been an instance in any European tournament or any such tournament where a keeper has been able to save 4 penalty shootouts. It's serious. So walk us through the South African team.
Yes. Thank you very much once again. But you see, the South African team, then how them are FA give them ultimatum, say if they don't win if they don't win the competition, then make them no expect anything, make them no bonuses or anything. Okay. So I think I say that thing sort of fire them to go the extra mile
to prove a point to the government.
Exactly. Okay. Them are FA. Yes. So check like. Nobody gave them that dog's chance. Okay. Yes, because bunch of them are players be local based. So yes, what are you going to do? And then with them starting off on a very sour note, like a draw, and but they showed mettle. They then come the game inside, because it was only in the 65th minute that Nigeria threw their penalty that Tuesday converted. Yeah, and then they didn't give up. Yeah. It was all blurry to them. It was all like they were about to give up, but then talk say no. With the timely intervention of VAR, and then and you know what surprises me, because their regular penalty taker is Percy Tau. Yeah. But in the first match, Percy go play the penalty. He ballooned the ball. Okay. So like Then see, no. Then make another person play. Probably in the closing stages where the other person can play the penalty where he score. So McQueen actually scored the penalty. We boost them our confidence.
Yeah.
To proceed towards the extra time, and then you could actually see that they were holding Nigeria at bay, they were holding Osimhen, they were holding Chukwueze, they were holding Lookman. These are very dangerous. They be very sharp. They be very dangerous. If Osimhen day on you, I go see the pressure day, but they feel hold them at defensive line, and then we actually now we expect other wonders for Rowan Williams, the goalkeeper. We saved straight 4 penalties. Be serious. Something really serious, remarkable. You can talk about all the great goalkeepers of old, from the European side to the South American. No one's been able to stop 4 penalties on a row like that. So that is a really good accomplishment. So big ups to him. But unfortunately, they lost out on the penalty. I really say kudos to them. Them force. Wow. No one gave them a dog's chance. Them force, and then congratulations. I really hope that them FA go sort of tamper justice with Messi, sort of consider them, then give them like half of the
they are in the finals.
Exactly. Therefore, consider them. Then
they are able to secure the 3rd place. Then that is
place. Even though they wouldn't win, they're not going to win the distance at least.
And you could see the celebrations, even though they lost. You could see the celebrations they were having with the fans, especially Percy Tau.
Exactly.
And then it was really nice. It was really a nice sight to see. Taking hands with the fans and all of that. They were actually happy. They were actually happy too.
They showed good character.
And so I want to bring in this case in point where South Africa won 2-0 against Morocco, which is a top side in Africa, playing the semi-finals in the World Cup. But before we do that, let's go for a quick break, and then when we return, we will discuss how the big teams in the tournament fell, and now, and how some of the underdogs rather progressed to the knockout phase of the competition. We'll be right back.